All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is Friday with the Founders. I'm Wolf. I'm joined with my partner, Guy Toole. We're here with Elify, and we're talking all things Elify with this Friday with the Founders. So, who is Elify? What is Shuffle? What is Tap? We're going to talk on the affiliate program. We're going to open this up for you guys to share a little bit of your experience, what you love about Elify, what you love about Shuffle and Tap, the affiliate program, etc. And we want to make this conversational, Guy. But we've got a lot of topics we've been talking about this week. I know the theme for this week has been FIRE. That's the acronym, Financial Independence, Retire Early. And we've been focused on that. Chris, good to have you on. Good to see you. Everybody, it's so good to have you on. And again, this FIRE topic that we're saying, look, there's a path that we can all take to go from where we are to where we want to get to, but we have to be ambitious about what we're working on. And that's what we've been talking about all week long. We've been talking about how we do that within the technology itself, within Shuffle, within Tap. We've talked about how to make money using those things. If you joined us for the roundtable on Thursday this week, and if you haven't seen those things, check out the replays over on YouTube. Lastly, Guy, before I throw this over to you, if you're watching us on the live stream on YouTube, and you've missed out on us, sort of joining in on the conversation, giving your thoughts, asking your questions, make sure you take an opportunity to download our Week at a Glance card. It's got all of the links for each of the live calls that we do every single week. A lot of those calls, we do just a 15-minute micro training now where we do a quick overview, and then we stop the live stream. And collectively as a community, if you're one of the active community members, you're coming in here and you're joining the conversation. And we're specifically focused on helping each other. So I'd encourage you to join these live Zooms if you're watching the replays or if you're watching the live stream as well. Guy, go on ahead. Let's kick it off.
Most definitely. I think we're really wrapping up this week and have had great trainings and conversations, and to the points of our micro trainings, 15 minutes at most. And then yesterday we carried on for another hour and had a great open conversation with everyone that had attended and gave a lot of strategies to reach potential financial independence and the retire early, but knowing that it's an ambitious goal, and you have to stay ambitious. You have to move into what next week's topic is going to go from ambition to obsession, and making sure that, with these concepts in mind, I know what I'm going to take in every week. We were talking earlier, the difference between motivation and obsession. There is a difference. You have to stay motivated, but sometimes you can't always be motivated. That's why and I are each other's accountability partners in business. We're not always on. If I'm not on, is vice versa. You mentioned it yesterday. There's very few times we're both not on. If there is, it's a dark, cloudy day. But we make sure that we want to motivate each other, motivate our affiliates, our team members, our network. I guess we can't motivate you. We inspire you, and hopefully you're self-motivated. But moving into the obsession and understanding, if you've got a goal and and you want to reach that, and you haven't reached that goal, say in the last month or the last quarter, it's because maybe that obsession isn't quite there. There isn't something driving us hard enough to reach that goal. And those are some of the things, we don't always just talk Elify. We talk business concepts and improvement and coaching and training per se within our network, and how some of these core attributes can help advance forward. I was mentioning to you, I got served an ad that it spoke to me. It was like myself. And it was 4 things that allowed me to turn my life around, or to change my direction. But actually change my direction to course correct, to pivot in the direction that I was always intending to be. At times you have to reinvent yourself. Right? We want to succeed, and that succession or leaving significance can sometimes entirely be on yourself. And sometimes that's tough. But when you have a group, a network that can support you, Those are elements that can help in the motivation, the ambition, moving towards obsession. And what this ad really talks about is most people don't sleep well when they're adults because there's so much happening in their mind. They're thinking about, what do I need to do tomorrow? What did I not get done today that I need to get done tomorrow or by the end of this week? A lot of people don't have routines. And we've really talked routine since day one, but really have dug into it from our sprint planning. If it was January 1st, January 2nd, we were probably on live talking about making sure you have a routine set up. And we all have our own routines, but a lot of times our routines can be adjusted when we consciously think about the bad habits. People a lot of times don't learn from themselves. They know that there's something going on or there's some hurdle or barrier, but they're not learning how to break through it, get around, get over it. Because, we talk barriers and hurdles since we very first met, ER, and how they're made to be broken, right? Rules are made to be broken sometimes, or at least bend them. But making sure that you have to learn about yourself, so you need to be able to build discipline, create routines, and then learn new information, right? Learning new information is something that we want to make very simple and seamless within our Elify Nation. And that's why we talk so much and have really dug into the micro technology aspect of what's provided with Shuffle and Tap. And those amounts of information you have to learn to be extremely powerful with what this network can provide is minuscule compared to a lot of other things out there, right? Why we micro technology is there's a handful of technologies within Shuffle and Tap that if you were to piece those together with other technologies, you're looking at a lot of username and passwords that you have to manage, probably high cost, and not using the whole solution. And why we said, there's a large mass. I would wager to say there's 90% of the business population that is just looking for something simple to improve their business. And what things need to improve? What we also focus on are your marketing efforts, your networking, and your referring. That's what business is about. And so being able to continue through this with your obsession is being interested isn't enough, right? There's times people are interested in things, interested to learn more, but the obsession is what's going to, or the ambition leading to the obsession is what's going to potentially help you reach your goals and truncate some of those things down where if you're obsessed enough, you can accomplish things in a week that may have taken you months in the past. So, there's things that we have to do in our lives to become obsessed. And why this really spoke to me was like, you have to sacrifice. You have to make changes in your lives. You were in my wedding. I had a really close group of friends in my wedding, and it was just 3 years ago last month. And sacrifices I've had to make. There's friends that are in my wedding that I hardly talk to because we're not going in the same direction, right? We sometimes have to leave old relationships behind in order to grow. You have to give up some of those bad habits, right? I mentioned at the very beginning of the year, one of my bad habits is my phone was right beside my bed, and as soon as I woke up, I'm looking at emails, I'm looking at our communication with our development team. That's not advancing me. That's not helping me with my day. I needed to take a couple hours, hour and a half or so, to get my mind right, to get into the daily task of the Elify operations. I needed to make sure I got up, take a cold shower, work out, do those different types of things. Say my daily gratitudes. Those are elements that are ingrained in me that I had to get rid of bad habits in order to adjust and have those be a part of my life. I had to stop playing it safe. There's times we play life safe, and we talked about it last week. We've talked about it. Everyone knows the dash in your life, your birth date, your dash, and then the end. You can't play that dash safe because you don't know how long that dash is going to be. And then sacrificing social life. Yesterday, had a buddy reach out to me. Hey, you want to grab a drink in the middle of the day? I was like, I can't. We got too much happening here. I'm in meetings from 9 a.m. until we wrapped up last night at 8:30. That's just what we have to do to advance, right? Mike, I know that with you in your relationship marketing business, you probably worked really hard those first few years, so then you had the opportunity to do what you want, when you wanted, where you want, but it took sacrifice those first few years. I would rather put in 100% effort. I can't give 110%. There's no such thing as 110%. I had to put in 100% effort in those 3 to 5 years. But I would rather do that than to go to a 9 to 5 for 45 years.
Sure.
Right? And so sacrifice is going to be a choice. And you have to make it, and it's got to be something important enough for you to sacrifice and do those. And then we wrap it up a little bit with discipline. Motivation's the luxury that can come and go, but discipline is going to be the ultimate thing that is going to drive you, and discipline will stay with you until you say otherwise. So you have to understand you can't always be motivated, like I mentioned just a little bit ago. You just have to have that discipline and that obsession. So that's what we love about, every week we're sort of taking a theme, and what really is great about the ambition is it is going to trickle over into obsession, and we will show paths next week. We have a to-do list that was delivered to actually us last night at 10 p.m. I know the deliverable was sent to us from somebody that was on the East Coast, so that was midnight for them. And it was, what are the goals? And then reverse engineer them to be able to provide those elements back to our affiliates. And we've been talking swipe copy, videos. ER and I have been head down on videos this week. I know you all know Kathy. Kathy reaches out to us. She gets crickets, and then she understands what's happening over here to make sure we're getting things available. So affiliates have elements that hopefully are things that you're ambitious enough to share or learn and get information out to others. So back to you, ER.
Yeah, and look, all great meat within what you're talking about, Guy, and I think that brings up a huge point. Elify and this Elify community is a lot more than just technology, right? We've got to have the right tools to be successful in what we're working on, and that's one of our core focuses. We want to build the right tools and make them available that have a good impact in your business. We want to build these micro solutions that should be easy for everybody to implement and make them accessible to the most people. But there's a lot of other context that surrounds those tools. You have to have the right knowledge, and you have to have the right skills. And I think those attributes play just as important of a role of getting you where you are to where you want to be in your business and in your life. But it all collectively works hand in hand. And that's one of the missions here at Elify, is really to work together as a community to bring in all of those elements in addition to the technology. Now, Elify as a technology company, that's the whole goal, right? We want to build great technology for you to introduce yourself, for you to have landing pages, for you to be able to manage relationships, to share information through QR codes and the NFC technology. But that's just one slice in the overall pie of our paths to success. Guy, you talk about reinventing yourself. All we're talking about is change. If you don't like where you are right now, and you want to make a change, you want to get to something different, you want to change and be more successful in a certain area, or even have balanced success, you have to reinvent yourself to some degree. You have to change some attributes within yourself to start going in a different direction. And Guy, I really love what you were talking about with the difference between motivation and discipline. We can all get moments of inspiration and motivation that will drive us ahead and keep us going. It's like pouring fuel on the fire. But it's when we create routines and habits that we're disciplined enough to stick with, that we become relentlessly consistent on, that we start yielding predictable results with. And so if we change and implement a new discipline with new habits and new systems, it will lead us in that new direction, and change becomes the result of that. And I think that comes from learning new things, implementing new things, connecting and discovering there. And then what else does that mean? That means if we're changing, some things may get left behind. Guy, you're talking about some of those old relationships. And I think we see it all the time, especially when we start to become more public on the change that we're working on, right? I'm doing this. This is my intent. This is my goal. And we try to have some accountability within our own social sphere, so we share that out. But then there are those sort of dream snatchers that will come along the way and sort of poo-poo your ideas, your inspiration, and your goals, because they themselves don't want to change, and they don't want to see you change along the way. So there's this balancing act that has to happen. And sometimes people just get left behind. It's not here nor there or intentional. It just happens as a result. And I think that's also with the bad habits. They need to be left behind as well. And Guy, I know you and I were listening to a podcast not too long ago, and they were talking about the to-do list, but they were talking about complementing your to-do list with the not to-do list. And it's actually surprising on how unaware we are of our own bad habits, right? Guy, you're talking about just the habit of having your phone next to your bed, and then the moment you wake up in the morning, you're already on the screen instead of doing your disciplined routine. And changing that over time is something that we all have to work on, and we do it in different areas. The last thing is sacrifice is a choice, guys. It's a choice. We have this power to choose, and it's a funny thing. My kids are 4 and 6 right now, and we're reading to them at night. And there's these books that's like, you have the power to choose, and your choice can change your day. And I'm sitting there going, how relevant is this to me as an adult, as much as it is to my children, and showing them that the choices they make will impact their outcome, not just in their day, but in their life. And it's the same thing here. We can learn these lessons and apply them. And that's really what we work on together within this Elify community. So just as much as Elify is sitting here going, hey, we want to create these amazing solutions, we're working on innovative technology, we're evolving technology all the time, and we're trying to make it accessible to everybody. Yeah, that's the core suite of what allows this mechanism or this business machine to happen. But along with that is the community, the training, the leadership, the individuals that make this up, and how we all foster and support abundance in each other's lives. And that's what excites me most about what we're working on, because technology will come and go, guys, right? We're working on things that didn't exist a few years ago, like NFC, from the standpoint of being accessible to the masses. But we've moved away from things like broadcast marketing that was hot back 3 years ago. We want to be relevant in the market space by allowing you guys to leverage tools that are going to advance your business forward. They're going to help you generate more revenue. They're going to help you generate more leads. They're going to help you stay on top of those relationships if you're willing to implement those technologies properly. And that means buying into the technology. That means understanding and learning the skills and the knowledge required to implement that technology. And then ultimately, it means implementing the technology and putting it into practice in serving you to solve the problems and save you time within your business, whether it's the way you're out there networking and introducing, the way you're gathering those leads. All of these things are important attributes in every single business guide, just like you were talking about. And that's really why we're bringing these types of technologies to marketplace and allowing them to play well with other technologies, because these are the core components that make businesses successful, right? Marketing. We've got to market ourselves. We have to market our products. We have to market our service. We have to let people know that we exist. That's marketing. That's also a portion of the sales when you're talking about relationship, networking, and referring, right? We have to foster relationships because we know people do business with people they know, like, and trust. Otherwise, they're buying a commodity, meaning they'll find the thing, and then they'll go search and price shop it around in the internet age and buy it at the lowest price. If you want to differentiate your product or your service in the marketplace, you have to differentiate and brand yourself so that they're buying into you and the value that you create for them. Guys, it's that trust process. So the relationships is key, the marketing is key, the sales is key, and the way we're sharing information is key. Look at the world we live in. We're in a digital world right now, guys. I thought about this morning, Guy. I have not done an in real life meeting in probably 5 years. Yes, we've gone out and we've talked with people a little bit, but truly focused in real life work for probably 5 years. 99% of what we do happens on a screen right now. And for you, maybe that's now a portion of your business in this post-pandemic world where you've been thrust online and you're trying to balance that online and that offline. And yet there's a vast majority of businesses, almost 50% of businesses don't even have an online presence. Guys, that's where opportunity exists. And we talk about luck. Luck is when preparation and opportunity collide. So we all want to be prepared so that when we see those opportunities in the marketplace, we can capitalize on those opportunities. We can capitalize by having the right information to share with the right person at the right time and work those relationships so that they result in customers and revenue for our business. So that's the core of what Elify is focused on, right? Simplifying, scaling down technology and making it accessible to everybody, elevating your business and simplifying your life. So with that being said, I want to open this up for anybody who is a Elify product user. If you have want to share some thoughts on how you're using the technology and the benefits that you're seeing, I would welcome that into the conversation. If you have any questions about the technology, now is the time to ask those questions as well. And then we'll move on to some of the other aspects of Elify, including, how you can get paid just to share the technology with other people.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah,
one
Howard.
of the things that I'm still confused about is when I share my card with somebody and they click on the link, then I make a change to my card and it says, do you want this change to be brought or sent to all the people? So if they click on my link, am I in their phone or does something else have to happen or what's going on?
This is a great question, Howard. So I mentioned just a second ago that there's a multitude of ways that we share information in today's society, right? You can call somebody to share information. You could advertise on TV to share information. You could text information. You can have information that sits on the web. You can send through social media. All of these different, what we would refer to internally as channels of communication. And one of those channels is to share the information through the Shuffle platform. So that means you've connected with somebody, they've downloaded the application, and you've shared your card via Shuffle so that they now have that saved in their card index. They can come back and reference it at any time. And if you click on that card and you're hitting Save My Information, it does give you a pop-up that's like, save this to card index. When you hit that, let everybody know I've updated my card, it's only the people who have your card saved in their card index that will get an alert. Hey, Howard updated his card. And then it's a great opportunity to pull and re-engage with that person to let them know you've updated the card, and then they come back and revisit it. So if you have customers, it's a great opportunity to tell your customers, hey, download this free application and save my card there, and you can get those future updates if those updates are important to those individuals. If you shared it via text and they've saved it to your phone, they will still be able to come back to that card and see the most latest updates, but they're not going to get an alert that you've actually updated your card. So that's always an opportunity to look at the activity on a card. And if you've updated it and shared it with people outside of sharing via Shuffle, which is the case in most instances, there's an opportunity to reshare. Hey, just recently updated this or added some new information. Thought I would reshare this with you as an opportunity to re-engage.
Yeah. So they have to be a Shuffle customer. in order to?
They can have they have to have a Shuffle account, Howard. So not necessarily even a paid account. Our free users still get a card index. So I always recommend to people, look, download this app. It's completely free, and you can save my card there. And when I update it, you'll get automatic updates. And some people want to avoid that, so they'll just download my card or save my card to their home screen. And again, if they're doing that, when I'm going out and resharing, I can go at any time and look at card activity and see who I've shared my card with in the past and go back and update those people directly. And we did have a conversation just yesterday on the roundtable where we talked about sort of the points at which automation and high volume collide with personalization. It was talking to a comment that Ruben brought up in the mastermind yesterday. It was one of those closed conversations after the training. And we talk about personalization and one-on-one contact. So if they're not saving your card to the card index and getting that alert that you've updated the card, you can still have a one-on-one engagement with that person to let them know you've made the update.
Yeah, do you have I don't think I've ever, I've had Shuffle for a few years now, and I don't think I'm aware of this free account thing. So do you guys have a URL?
I'll show you exactly where that's out on Shuffle.
So while ER is bringing that up, and just to expand on that a little bit, Howard, is we always talk about, right? Whenever we share our cards, we want to make sure that there's as little friction as possible for the recipient. And so in order to receive the card and view it, there's no downloading of an app. There are companies out there that you have to download their app and look at things. And that's what is a differentiator from the aspect of, say, a loyalty customer or a loyalty partner, is say, hey, there's one additional step that you might need to take. And these can be those one-off conversations when sending them the card, is when it says save my info, I'm actually going to ask you to download the free application. And all it's going to do is take their information, create a free app for them, a free account. It's even going to give them access to create a free card. But then that gives you the ability, when they saved the card index, your card is then placed in there, and to the point of when I push notify, the person on the free account will receive the notification when I update my card.
So let's take a look at the two things the guy was just talking about, Howard, just to drive the point home here. Okay. I'm on elifyshuffle.com. A big thing I want to call out as a distinction, you'll see my little invite code /ER. We all have one of those as Elify affiliates. So anybody that comes to this page, I'm already getting tagged as getting credit for that referral. When they go into Get Shuffle, okay, I'm just clicking on that big Get Shuffle button and it takes them to the sign up page. Be aware at the very bottom, try Shuffle for free, one business card. It's right here. So you can see all the pricing information based on the selections here. There are direct links for them to go here. In your invite links, you can share a free card with somebody and it will automatically navigate to this page as if they've already selected that. And you can see the pricing goes directly to zero. It provides them one card. It provides them that card using one template, and it provides them one link. So there are limited features in that free account, but it also provides them with the card index. So what does that card index mean? When people are viewing your card, and here's just an example card that we created. It's like maybe for a real estate agent. We have this save my info at the bottom of the cards. When somebody clicks on that save my info, you can see they can save it to their phone contacts, which is what one of the scenarios we were talking about, but they can also save it to card index. And that's where guys talking about, you would prompt them or preface that with, you should save this to the free account, add it to your card index on Shuffle, or download the Shuffle app. And that segues them in to getting Shuffle and saving your card. Additionally, if they're doing that with the free account, you're getting credit for them at that time. And then if they ever convert their account to a paid account, you'll start earning commissions on that referral as well. So hopefully that helps answer your question a little bit, Howard. There's an aspect in there where they can download it and add it. And if you are receiving somebody else's Shuffle card and you're already a Shuffle user, it's better to save it to your card index so that you have that accessible within Shuffle than just to save it to your phone contacts. So be aware of those different flows and how you're going to leverage those flows within your business.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. Hey, also, how do you guys put the QR code? Is that a picture on a picture?
Yeah, so we actually have a GIF or a GIF, however you want to say that phrase, right? It's a rotating picture here. And as part of it, it has this static QR code in the background. So you can see some of that transitional stuff. I know even others on this call, like Mike Snow, you can see down there, and Greg Boone, they've got a static background, a screenshot, and they're just overlaying that layer of the QR code there as well. Again, just a point of personal preference if you want it to be dynamic. Sometimes there are pros and cons. I don't really love how my hair looks when it goes to the black screen. So maybe I'll just go to a static white screen with my QR code. But the big benefit there, and I see Shelly's got her QR up as well, is we are now connecting more than ever on web meetings, right? Virtually. Guy, you and I, we talk with people coast to coast and internationally on a daily basis without leaving our home offices here. And this gives us a chance for somebody to connect with us, even if we're not able to put stuff in the chat or other things. So it allows us to network with people when we're in these large group environments. I would encourage everybody to either put it in a background on your virtual background or as a placeholder on your non-video screen, just as a benefit there.
Yeah. Hey, ER, can you put that link where you had took us and showed us the things on the bottom and whatnot, so that I don't have to spend half a day trying to figure it out again?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so the first link, it's not something I can share other than I can share you the preview of this card. So let me pull up my screen and we're going to drop a few things in the chat. And then again, if you have a question or a comment or a tip or a trick, please get ready to go next. So here's Doug Baldwin. It's just one of our sample demo cards. And what I'm calling out is the Save My Info. If you guys would like to play around with this for yourself, I'm going to put the link to the preview of this card in here in the chat. You can open this card up, scroll down. And what we're talking about specifically is anywhere you have that Save My Info and somebody clicks on it, it's going to give them two options, right? Phone contacts or card index.
Okay.
And what we're specifically talking about is card index, and it flows. It takes the user on a journey straight from there. Oh, yes, save it to my card index. Great. Add it to your card index on Shuffle. Don't already have a card index? Download the free Shuffle app to save, and then they would download it. And by coming through this path, when they create their account, your card will be already in their card index. So that's the first thing that I shared. The other thing I shared was the path to get to that free offer. So again, I'm going in here and you can see I was talking with Milton and his link is in there. If I want to share mine, I just adjust it and now it's my link. And again, I would share a page like this with somebody and I can hit Get Shuffle. And that's going to allow them to go to the checkout process. The free business card is down here at the bottom. Howard, one quick tip I want to show you and everybody on this call is I don't need to direct my person. Hey, go here, go down here and click on the free account. You actually have a card that you can share that directly links with that page. And that card you can all build using the card creator in the Shuffle app. I'm just clicking on the little plus sign to create a card. I'm going to go to mobile card builder here. And then under Promote Elify, this blue box right here, there's a mouse down option where I can use Shuffle Free Card and click on that. And it will pull up a template for me that is a direct promotion of the free card offer. And when people click on Claim Your Free Card, it links them directly to that enrollment page where it's already set up for $0. Okay?
Okay.
Great.
And so what's the difference? So it had the Shuffle upgrade for $10. What's that as compared with the Shuffle membership?
Yeah, the same end membership on the premium side where you're going to get 10 cards, you're going to get contacts, you'll know who viewed a card, you're going to get campaigns, you can do lead capture. All of those things are in the premium account. The big difference for the free account holder is one card using one template where they only get one link. So they'll know somebody viewed their card, but they don't know who. They don't have the relationship stuff, some of those things.
Okay, you had
Howard, to answer that just real quick, the Wyatt exposed $10 and we probably haven't talked to you or you haven't seen a video in the probably last few weeks. is why it's displaying $10 is we allowed everyone that came onto the live, we adjusted to be able to offer Shuffle not only at $20, but bring the price all the way down to $10 through the month of August, all the way through. So what I'll do is after we're done here on this live, I'm actually going to go in and I'll make the adjustment to your invite code as well. So for all the way through the month of August, you'll be able to refer at $10 instead of the $20 discount.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
Comments, ideas, thoughts? I think talking about differentiation, and you had mentioned that earlier, ER, and what sort of happens is it just makes me think of myself sometimes to try to put it into context with a story and differentiate and the aspect of being able to market your brand in a different way is, I know Anna knows where I grew up is about an hour and 15 minutes from where she's at. And the town size is very similar, roughly 1,500 people. I'm a country kid, grew up about 25 miles from town and had to make an excursion to get to school every day. Well, past life, I was an athlete and did fairly well at it. And then the region knew me as an athlete. And when I got into my professional life, it was, Guy Toole, the football player. And I was no longer a football player. I had to differentiate myself. I have a new brand. I had to be able to market myself different. So I get moved out of the football player conversation and into the entrepreneur, tech owner, those types of things. So being able to reinvent yourself, that's something I've had to do for the last 20 years because I still have conversations with people from back home and always asking me, the excitement of the football season coming up. Yes, I stay in touch with it, but it's a hobby. It's something that I enjoy doing on Saturdays more than Sundays. So that will give you an idea of what I like to watch a little bit more. But to understand that I had to look for something and why we got together to say, hey, here's something that we can take a brand or a new brand and market ourselves in a way that we would like to give that impression out to others. And so it gives me an opportunity whenever having those conversations to sort of change it to where I'm at now compared to where I was 20 years ago.
Yep. Super powerful, especially on that reinvent yourself, because again, you get caught up in that old stuff and it's the shift to the new stuff. Ruben, I see your hand up. Go ahead, my friend. Thanks for joining.
Yes, thank you so much, ER and Guy. Just wanted to share a situation I had this morning. I had a one-to-one with a networking firefighter. She's been a firefighter for about 33 years and works in the emergency room. And her side gig is she's an ambassador for Forever. Basically, they digitize all your photos and things like that. And they have different products that they can reproduce your memories in the cloud, etc. And so I presented Shuffle, and all of a sudden she chimed in her upline, who was in the ER getting infused because she apparently went to a convention and had a little episode with COVID or something. And she came in on our conversation and she was intrigued about what our offer was with Shuffle. And then she mentioned that they have their own incorporated CRM, quite elaborate. It brings in all kinds of people and everything. And then she also suggested she has another digital card, and she asked me if I knew about that. So she brought out those two issues. So after she left us, I was back with the firefighter, and I said, she brought out two pretty good points, but let's talk about the Forever, your business. can you visualize, you have so many products on your website. Can you visualize a separate card to highlight one specific product and go with a theme? Then, of course, we went into her website and I showed her basically the different themes. So I said, it's interesting. You may have a corporate CRM it's into itself. And here you have another element here that has its own CRM, and utilize them both. And so I opened that suggestion, and it looks like now that she's contemplating, we still have to get her upline involved so I can answer her question that she had. But what I'm saying is that I didn't want to give up just, when they raise those objections, because really there's always a way to embellish what you have. And what we have is very unique in that area. And the bottom line too is the cost. My gosh, it's economically feasible. But I just wanted to share that with you that we had this morning.
Yeah, and I think Ruben, to your point, it's about differentiation. It's about showing what you have and how it differs a little bit from what else might be out there or might be leveraged. I also like the point you said, and I think this is a big point for all promoters and marketers. If you're promoting things that have a lot of different variety, a lot of different product SKUs, as they say, you might want to highlight one or two of those things as the primary selling products. So that way you're not confusing the people you're presenting to with everything available by the company. Hey, let me talk about the top 5 products that we sell. And it's this, and this about, digitizing your memories, et cetera, on that end. And the other thing is, again, we play well with other technologies. So if they want to export their contacts out and import them back into this other CRM, et cetera, you can complement the two solutions that you might be using as part of the business. Now, during your conversation, Mike, I saw your hand go up. So please, thoughts, comments, tips, tricks?
Well, I was just going to say on that CRM, I get that all the time too. But the thing I shoot back at them is, do you own the CRM? That's the company CRM. When you leave, does it go with you? And this is always with realtors, always, because they have to put them in. And I said, do you get to take them? No, they want us to just put them in theirs. I said, and that's the problem, because you're not going to be with them forever. Well, your whole goal is to become a broker of your own and move and do your own thing. You're going to leave all your contacts with them.
Mike, I think that's probably the most important thing we see across the board with anybody who's in a network-based business is ask yourself, who owns the list? Who owns the list? And ultimately, our goal is for you to have your own list. Your network is your net worth, as we've said so many times before. So you want to make sure you are the owner of your contacts. You may be representing a brand, right? You may be a representative promoting a company or its products, but you are the owner of the list that you're servicing. And all too often, Mike, to your point, we've seen people in one of two scenarios. Either they don't just have one primary focus, they have several ventures together, and a lot of the products they're selling are complementary to each other. So they need to centralize their list, and they might sell one prospect on multiple products from different companies. Or two, the point you brought up, things sometimes don't last forever, right? So you may move from one company to another. You may find a better opportunity. Heaven forbid the company you're with may shut down. If they're the owner of your list, you do not want to be the person that's starting at ground zero all over again, because the moment they close the doors is the moment they locked you out from the list you built for them. And I think that's a really powerful thing, especially when we're talking about company provided solutions where we might be an independent agent of that company, is we still want to be looking at the value that I'm bringing to this company. I still want to keep that value for myself and not just transfer to the company without any monetization, other than selling the company's products.
Right.
Because
that really
around and use that list anyways, guys. Promise.
Right.
Do that. Go ahead, Guy.
That really works from that CRM aspect, like you're saying, Mike. But I think you also lean into, and like you are saying, from opportunity aspect within Elify, we know we have the affiliate program, and we'll get into it here in just a second. But that's where you're owning your network. And to the company that you're mentioning, Ruben, you sent me a direct message so I know who it is. There's no affiliate program. There's no way of owning a network. And to those types of companies, we see it happen every day. We see a new relationship marketing company start and it fizzles out, or an old one goes away, or they change the way they do things. I mean, Advocare did it a couple of years ago. There's hundreds of thousands of people that lost at time zero. That at that point, they lost their network. With Elify, you own your network. You own your CRM. You go from, heaven forbid, Advocare shuts its doors. You have an insurance policy with your network in Elify. And you can then take that to look at another opportunity. Or if Elify is working how it's intended for you and the network understands the value of it, for if they decide to go anywhere else, they now can market that brand but still differentiate themselves from that company. Because once you get bitten once by a company like that, you want to then identify, I can't call myself Advocare moving forward. I can't call myself moving over to Herbalife and say I'm Herbalife. I have to differentiate myself and say I'm in health and wellness. I'm a health coach. And that's where you get to brand yourself with Elify. And it makes it so if the network disperses and goes elsewhere, they understand the value of what Elify brings to them, because they have the platform to be able to continue marketing wherever they go, whatever they're joining, and being able to empower the new network and refer to, maybe, I went from Advocare to Herbalife, and ER went from Advocare to another health and wellness company. We're separate now, but we're still the same network, and we're still helping each other grow and can make referrals to each other, because we know in those instances, those companies provide hundreds of products. And do you know everything about a company when you join it? Do you know what every product does? Well, probably not, but I know the ones that I like, and that gives me the ability to market the products that I like and get the information out about that, instead of saying, well, I just joined this company and I have a website and you should go check it out. Good luck finding what you want to find. So that's just to expand on that a little bit. We can always get into comparisons of what Elify does compared to other companies. And we always have said it, it's comparing an apple to a fruit basket, or really there's no comparison. And that's why we wanted to think outside of the box and be different and be a purveyor of micro technologies. And those micro technologies, some things may go away, some new things come in the fold. You'd mentioned the broadcast marketing compared to now NFC. Broadcast marketing went away. It got turned off. There were companies that had to shut their doors because Google gave them a 30-day notice that they were shutting it off. And it was an additional feature that we provided, but it wasn't the backbone of what our company was. So hopefully that helps just a little bit more. Anna, you've got your hand up. Feel free. And I know you're doing yard work.
Yeah, but instead of allowing you to see my dirty face and sweat all over me, I just want to say how much I appreciate Elify a little bit more this last 30 days, when our main company that I work with had what they called a CRM, where they called it Prospect, and you could go in and you put in people's names, and it had campaigns and resources and follow up and all that good stuff, but it was all tied to them. Mm-hmm. When I started with the Elify, I learned how to transfer that information to my CRM and to the card index. And when they shut that down and started a whole new one, all those contacts disappeared.
Wow.
They're gone. Yeah. So I didn't lose them because thankfully I found a company that would help me keep them. So I'm very happy with Elify right now. I just wanted to mention that.
No, so
I've been-
grateful to hear that, Anna. So grateful
Well,
to hear that.
17 years with the company, 17 years. You can imagine what kind of contacts I had in there.
Yep. And I think that's the biggest point here, right? And in a lot of cases, especially as entrepreneurs and small business owners who might be representing a third-party brand, we need to understand we represent that company, but we are not that company. We are ourselves, and we are our own brand, like Guy was talking about. And if you're building a brand as a health and wellness expert, or as a legal service expert, or as a financial service or energy expert, or whatever the brand, maybe it's just fashion and jewelry and health and wellness. Again, there's so many different things that we can all be out there if we're entrepreneurial, promoting and recommending. But we have to realize that we're building our own brand, who we are, because people ultimately at the end of the day are going to do business with you because they know you, they like you, and they trust you. But with that being said, that means you operate your own business, right? You're an independent business owner, and you want to make sure you securitize your network. Guy, you and I talk about network securitization all the time. That's the list, right? The list has value. Think about these people in influencer marketing. The reason why they have so much value is because they have a list, an audience that they can wield influence over, make recommendations to, promote things to. Each of us, everybody, has to understand that we are that as well, just at a different scale. You might be a nano influencer. You've got a list of 1,000 people, right? The average person has a network of 600 people. That's the nano influence. You're not going to sell maybe all 600 people on whatever products or services you're promoting. But if you go out and you work those 600 people that we on average have, you're going to find customers and team members and referrals and all that stuff within that list. And it's going to start to waterfall out. That's how that process works. But if you have a list of 1,000 people and each one of those has access to 600 people, now you can see how valuable that list or that influence grows. Maybe you're going from a nano influencer to a micro influencer. You've got upwards of 5,000, 10,000, 100,000 people that you have access to, or an audience that can listen to what you do, what you have to say, the brand that you promote, and the products and services. Then you have these mega influencers out there, right? The Kardashians of the world that have millions, if not hundreds of millions of people who are paying attention to what they're saying. And those people understand that. They're wielding their influence. They're building their own brands, their own products. They're partnering with other sponsors to create those offerings to get it out in front of the audience. That's exactly what we're doing here at Elify with the Elify affiliate program. Guy and I understood at the very beginning, one, we believe passionately about entrepreneurship and business ownership being a path, a potential path to success. It's not a perfect path, as they say, but it's just better than the traditional 9-to-5 path. I truly believe that. And because we're such believers in that, we want to support the success of that. That's why we develop business technologies, these micro technologies that all of us can implement to give us a leg up in our business. But in doing so, we also understand business is a pathway, and we want to make that pathway accessible to the masses. That means we have to create a mechanism, a system that allows, yes, the mega influencers to be ultra successful, but the nano influencers to also participate in the model. So there are a few components when you're talking about creating a program, a path to entrepreneurship for people that, like we've done with the Elify affiliate program. And a few of those attributes are things like, we want to have low upfront investment to get started. We know that you have a lot of options when you get involved in a business. If you're building it from scratch, or if you're buying a franchise, or anything in between, there's typically a high capital investment there. That's a barrier to entry for most people. That's not here at Elify with the affiliate program. I think Guy, our legal team, made sure they have to pay something. So we said, great, we'll charge $1 and then we'll prorate that dollar against the first amount of commission that somebody earns. What does that do? That lowers the barrier to entry for everybody to get into business as an Elify affiliate to zero out-of-pocket expense. Then we said, wait, there are programs out there that require that you do a certain amount of volume every single month in order to get paid. We're not going to do that here at Elify. We're going to allow you to push through any amount of volume. If you don't do anything in a month, it's not going to impact you. You're just not going to earn off of no volume produced. But if you do any amount of volume, you're going to qualify to earn on that amount of volume based on our affiliate structure. Two other components, and then we'll quickly go through a screen that talks about the affiliate program. We're talking about residual compensation, guys. I've been in sales. My first job over 30 years ago was like a sales job where I was trying to get people to sign up for something. And I would get paid once on that, but then I'd be at ground zero again with my sales quota, and I'd have to go out and do new sales all month long in order to earn a paycheck. When you have a residual compensation, you do the work one time and you get paid on that work over and over and over again. And that's an attribute that we wanted to include in the affiliate program so that somebody can do the work once and get paid on it over and over again. You know the pitfall of that? Guy, you and I know it. We have people who've done the work once and they're still getting paid 3-4 years later over and over and over again without doing any additional work. Guys, if you want to build this residual income over time, you want to build on each successive month's worth of efforts so that you build up that income stream over time. And lastly, you want to look for things that offer leverage. Leverage is the ability to not just get paid on your efforts, but getting paid on the efforts of other people. It doesn't matter if they're your customers or if they're your team members or other affiliates that you've brought into the fold or who discovered the affiliate program but are in your network. Any of that volume that comes in, and you'll see it in a moment here, from 2 degrees of separation to 6 degrees of separation from you, you're going to get paid a residual commission on. And again, it's going to build month over month. So in closing here and overviewing the affiliate program, I just want to share the affiliate page and walk through quickly what we're doing to help you generate revenue, including a new stream of revenue in your life, just by helping us grow our network. And Guy, I think that was a big component here. We didn't want to just go out and market this thing and keep everything for ourselves. We knew we had an opportunity to serve millions and millions of people out there who could use Elify technology. And we wanted the people who helped us bring that technology to those people to participate in the upside potential that exists. So you join as an affiliate, you go out and you promote Elify, that's Shuffle, that's Tap, that's any of our solutions. And when somebody enrolls, every time they're spending money, you're earning commission. You basically get paid to share. The structure is pretty simple. It's 10% on everything you directly refer, 8% that comes in through your network referrals. And we've created some direct referral bonus milestones where you can earn some additional percent, 1% on more leverage. So what does that look like in closing, guys? This is you as an affiliate. You've signed up. It didn't cost you anything to sign up, so the risk is not a heavy capital investment. You get your links, your cards, and other promotional material, and you're sharing it out to people you know could benefit from Shuffle, from Tap, from the affiliate program. Then you're earning 10% on them. Anything that they do as a result of that falls within 6 degrees of separation from you, you earn 8%. And if you go out and refer 10, 20, 30, or 40 people directly, you can unlock 1% on 7, 8, 9, and 10. It's that simple, guys. Nothing to complicate it. No ranks or volumes. You're good to go.
You can ask another question. You guys, I think I've got a card that I think you guys set up and put in my Shuffle a long time ago to kind of promote the system. And I clicked on it here and it's talking about Shuffle Marketplace. What is Shuffle Marketplace?
Yeah, great question, Howard. And sort of in closing, the marketplace is a bunch of done-for-you templates that you can pick from to either build cards from there or adjust and build cards that are better suited. It just sort of leaps you forward from having to build a card from scratch. So you can build anything you can envision in our advanced builder. But in order to help you go down specific paths a little bit easier, we've provided Marketplace so that you can grab a template and start working from there as the baseline versus working from a blank sheet of paper.
Okay. And when I click on that, I see there's an invite code. So is that my invite code? When I'm looking at your affiliate page, it's got your initials at the end of it.
Yep. Yours would either be a series of letters and numbers, or if you go to affiliate.elify.com and log into your affiliate portal, you'll actually see your invite code on the left-hand side of the screen. I'm just going to pull in our Doug demo one to show you right here. My invite code, Douglas.Baldwin. So if he's sending out any URLs, he just puts /Douglas.Baldwin, and that gives him credit.
Okay.
Great. Well, Guy, let's wrap this thing up. Go ahead.
All right, we're going to wrap it up. We've got to actually jump over into another live real quick. So with that, everyone have a great weekend. Hopefully you are inspired enough to have some devotion, some ambition moving into obsession for next week. We will be doing our sprint planning at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Kathy will be holding Tech Tuesday at 2 p.m. Central on Tuesday. We will be doing our mastermind at 10 a.m. Mountain Time on Thursday, and then back here next Friday with the Founders at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. So with that, everyone have a great weekend, and we will see you all next week. Take care.